said, the name, on the path of sadhana, of satsang, you gain Atma Shakti and Atma Prakasha. You gain an introduction to your real self. So you gain the soul of, or the essence of Shakti, of creative power. You gain that self of creative power. And you gain that self of Prakasha, of original light, of the light of consciousness. This is what you gain on the path. And she said also that unveiled light, Nirvanam Prakashi, is the God himself, the eternal, unveiled light. So light that is not, that we experience as undimmed or unveiled. And that light illuminates everything. And this is not metaphorical. Because we see with our, we think we see with our physical eyes, but we really don't. Our eyes are just symbols of, gross symbols of seeing, really. We don't see with our physical eyes. I've said this many times. And it's really easy to understand this because many people, even, who don't do any spiritual practice at all, occasionally have the experience of you're lying in bed or you're out somewhere and it's very dark or your eyes are closed somewhere and you have some momentary experience of being able to see things even though your eyes are closed. That's an experience that many people have. We also have the experience of being able to see things in our mind when our eyes are closed. What is seeing those things in our mind? We have to ask ourselves. We say, oh, it's our imagination. But that's a very unexplanatory explanation, right? It really glosses over the main point, which is that we're actually seeing without our physical eyes. That light that allows us to see, that light of consciousness, is pervasive. And so as you practice and more of your eyes open up, you see more and more subtly until eventually you see with the eyes of God, which are everywhere. And then you have sight of exceptional clarity. So there's lots of ordinary proof in our lives that our physical eyes are not what's seeing. That these are just, an ordinary experience of vision. So when we do sadhana, we gain Atma Prakasha. We gain the eyes of God. We see with the light of consciousness. We see as God sees. So Lakshmi is the consort of Vishnu, the maintainer. So that means that she is the Shakti of Vishnu. And it is that abundance of the sun that maintains our everyday world. It is the abundance of everything that maintains our everyday world. So one of the ways of relating to Diwali or Deepavali, which is, Diwali is like a contraction of Deepavali. So one of the ways of relating to it is to think about abundance and to think about generosity. You've heard me talk on when we also do puja to Lakshmi, that the highest wisdom of Lakshmi is generosity. Many people relate to her in an ordinary way as they pray to her for wealth, for money, or success in some worldly way. But the ultimate success is really to be able to manifest that abundance of God for other people, to be that fountain of abundance, to embody that. And we can start to embody that by, first of all, noticing the abundance of the world, noticing the abundance of reality itself. We may be poor, right? We may have not a stitch of clothing on our backs. We may be in terrible individual circumstances. But when we look at everything, when we look at other people, when we look at every scrap of corner of this reality, there is just abundance everywhere. There is abundant creativity, there's abundant color, there's abundant texture, there's abundant sensory experiences. There's unimaginably abundant diversity. There's, even in an ordinary way, if we just let ourselves notice it, there's abundance everywhere. I mean, just unimaginable, over the top, incomprehensibly unstoppable abundance. So even if we're in the kind of condition that we might think we are justified in complaining about, or we feel that we're personally not getting what we need. Even in the things that we're not getting, there's incredible abundance, right? In the way that you're not getting it, that there's just so much variety. So the first step in really realizing Lakshmi and the meaning of Deepavali, which is abundance of light, is to notice the abundance everywhere. And when we start to do that, when we put that into practice, just noticing it, then we feel less deprived, regardless of what circumstance we're in. And the only thing that is stopping us from not being generous in our own lives toward other people and beings and just in general is a feeling of lack and danger, that we're not going to get enough, that we're not going to get what we need, that we're going to lose out on something that we want. That's the only thing that keeps us from expressing abundance. But if we start to notice that everything is already abundance, then we can start to relax a little bit. And then when we do sadhana on top of that, we just naturally start to be more generous. We just naturally start to embody more of the effulgence of the light of consciousness. It is like a fountain. It really is like a fountain, a never-ending fountain. And you can experience that coming out of the top of your head as the abundance of Guru. The Guru is coming out of the top of your head like an abundant fountain. That's an experience you can have in sadhana. And then it just begins to take over. Right? You just begin to express that.